Hello, leader. If you're listening to this episode in real time, you want to make sure that you know about our next live, free, and virtual workshop that's coming up this week. Check out the links that are in our show notes and stay tuned to the end of the episode to hear more about it. Today, we're going to come together to talk about meetings. You either love them or you hate them, and most people hate them, but they are necessary. So let's run through this short list of meetings that are absolutely essential for your team's success. Welcome to the Stacking Your Team podcast. This podcast is for anyone looking to strengthen their leadership skills and build a high-performing team. I'm your host, Shelli Warren. Leading people can be tough, but it's a skill we can all continue to develop. You already know that whether your workplace is big or small, people are your greatest asset and often your largest expense. That's why you take your role seriously and want to keep growing as a leader. You'll find that each episode is designed to provide practical solutions that you can apply immediately. So let's dive into today's episode with a couple of quick reminders. No one escapes team troubles, including me. And the team that got you here may not be the team that will get you there. Okay, now I know that many of you, hey, I can feel this way sometimes too, really dislike going to meetings that are a waste of time. No one wants that. So I want to remind you to zip back to episode 322 for how to host team meetings that don't suck. You know, there are a lot of strategies in that episode to help you and your team host meetings that people actually want to attend. The link is in the show notes. So let's start today by talking about the meeting that for most of you is going to start your day. We call it the daily huddle. So why do daily huddles matter? Well, they set everyone on the same track for the day. They highlight any upsets, problems with staffing, client cancellations, any sales or promotions that you may have going on, and any outside or internal distractions, such as weather. It's also a great time to nip anything in the bud that is showing up as a problem, either culture-wise or systems-wise, and any of those frustrating habits that can form when people come together to come to work. Make it normal to talk about these things quickly and with purpose, and include what to do differently and why. Now, you don't have to gather up all these kinds of topics for other types of meetings. Daily huddles are designed to set the team up for success for the day, and that includes anything that can become a distraction or anything that will pull them off their focus and therefore impact their results. Here are a few things to think about to make your daily huddles super effective. Respect everyone's time. Make it quick, 20 minutes or less, and preferably standing up, even if you're on Zoom or Microsoft Teams. Have a super tight agenda, one that is repeated at every huddle, so everyone knows what to expect, and in the order in which the topics will be shared. And your team leaders, they run it. So yes, you guessed it, you don't have to be there. Your capable team members who, by the way, let me remind you that they are the closest to the work. So they really do know the most about the work. They're the ones who will know what could upset the flow for the day, what the priorities are, and they can rally the team because they are such a critical key aspect of your culture. So yes, daily huddles, super essential for your team's success. The next meeting that is essential for your team's success is the weekly team meeting. So why does the weekly team meeting matter? Well, your entire team comes together, including your new hires. A perfect way for them to be immersed in how things get done. Bring them along to these weekly team meetings. Let them observe and chime in too. Now, weekly team meetings are designed to make it normal to talk about results, whether you're on track or off track, what the action plan is to get back on track, and who's taking the R for it, meaning who has the responsibility for executing a specific piece of the action plan. And having a tight and repeatable agenda helps the team know what to expect, what they need to bring with them to add to the discussions, and who is leading certain aspects of the meeting, who's taking notes, who's watching the clock. Many of my clients ask me what the ideal time slot should be for their weekly team meetings, and we typically walk them through finding a time that best fits for them. Now, there is no rule for when to host this meeting, but I will tell you to block an hour. If you don't use the full hour, be sure to celebrate that and give your team back the gift of time. Everyone appreciates that. Many teams who have worked together for years can get this weekly team meeting down to 45 minutes regularly, sometimes even 30 minutes. But they also keep the hour blocked because they know that there will be times when a bigger project requires more time to review results and to create some action plans. Now, I also know that bringing your team together for an hour a week and pulling them off of their work plan is expensive. That's why a lot of leaders are reluctant to host these weekly meetings. However, I think we've all experienced losses from how not having people on the same page, people working rogue, people being absent when there's key rollouts, or it's been costly when there's been rework, or we've missed an opportunity, or sometimes rifts between team members can arise because the right people weren't in the room when we made these decisions. And even we can disappoint clients and customers because you've got people that miss this meeting or out of the loop and they don't understand what's going on. So let's lean into the weekly team meeting and work towards making it the most effective time your team has because they come together. Don't forget, in your weekly team meeting, it is the perfect time to showcase what's happening in each of your specific departments, or as I like to call them, profit centers. Now, here's why. If your business is heavily reliant on seasonal sales, you'd likely want to hear from your sales or marketing team during those peak sales campaigns. This allows everyone to collaborate on any shifts that need to take place or get the most up-to-date information that can affect others on the team, such as shipping or accounting or inventory management or client intake if your sales campaign is service-based. If you're in a sales slump, make it normal to talk about strategies to pull the business out of the slump. Now, if you're in a big hiring spree, you'll want to hear from whomever is the conduit to your HR resource or your recruiter. Let's get that person to update the entire team on the progress of the latest hiring project. And divide your team meeting agenda into quadrants that enable each of your departments or profit centers to update the team on their key projects. Let them lead this. You're there to listen, ask questions, and acknowledge their results. Now, having a set place for note-taking, results tracking, and sharing those results in a way that everyone can see is critical. So whether it's a whiteboard, a digital dashboard, a slide deck, or even handouts, have something that people can refer to. Do not keep the results a secret. Your team wants to know if they're doing a good job or not. They want to know who is doing a good job and what's coming up. It's all so motivating. And the more data you can share, the less speculation you'll have across the team, which can always add undue drama to your day. Here's another way to leverage those weekly team meetings. I like teams to close out their weekly team meetings with a section that I like to call 2-minute items. It's a round robin style, quick ad where everyone gets 2 minutes or less to make an ask, give a shout out, or inform the team of something that could affect them and their work or even their well-being. So things like sharing a book, letting the team know about construction that's been rerouted that's going to help everyone save time during their commute, or a new hack that someone's found, keeping the camaraderie growing. The key is to keep it to 2 minutes or less, and it's very okay to say pass. Hey, Isn't it time that you got the help you need? So you can see your team improve. Watch your calendar get freed up and watch how adding a few simple structures into how you run your team will spill positive results right over across your whole business. It's tough being a leader, but it can be easier when you put yourself first. Ask for help, get that quality help, and then apply it. I'm here to help you build a leadership team that will run your operations without you. Just think about how much time you'll get back, how much more energy you'll have to focus on other important things, including your family and friends, when you're not so tightly tethered to your day-to-day workplace. We're gearing up to welcome new members into the Leadership Lab for January, and I have a few spots available for private one-to-one coaching. And don't forget, your team gets training and coaching too. Apply today directly from the website or the link in your show notes. I can't wait to meet you and get you set up for an incredible experience in the new year that will undoubtedly impact your life and most definitely your team. The next meeting that is essential for your team's success is the monthly leadership team meeting. Now, some leaders will host this meeting twice a month. Others do it every quarter. More on that quarterly session a bit later. So why does it matter to have this monthly leadership team meeting? Well, your leadership team is an extension of you. Your brand, your preferences, your standards, your responsibilities towards quality, compliance, any legalities, and definitely your responsibilities towards your clients, customers, and your extended team members. That's a lot. You've likely got leadership team members who have recently been promoted and joined your leadership team. So a true mix of people with their variety of skills, experiences, and let's not forget, personalities. The best leadership teams are the ones who collaborate well with each other, respect each other's opinions and points of view, and who move forward as an alliance representing what your company stands for. If you think that level of impact and outcome happens overnight, you are fooling yourself. This level of professionalism takes time to cultivate and time to work through the various ups and downs of your marketplace, your community, and whatever's going on where your team lives and works. So let me get real with you for a minute. The only way you'll ever remove yourself from the daily operation in a meaningful way is to build a leadership team who can effectively lead others. And in order to help them do this well, you've got to give them quality time to openly talk about concerns, ideas, people problems, systems and process issues, what they're curious about, and definitely results. You know, the old what's working and what's not working. So creating a set time where your leadership team can count on seeing you, having your undivided attention in the same place at the same time with the same level of collaboration amongst the other members can add so much value. It can also put an end to the number of requests you get to talk about something that really should be added to the leadership team agenda. And as with any effective meeting, having a set agenda and a way to showcase discussion points, your action plans, and of course, having other people to lead aspects of this meeting will go a long way about how people feel about attending. Now, there's something else to consider about this highly valued group of people who undoubtedly impact everything that's going on in your workplace. Here it is. I am a fan of the quarterly leadership team meeting that is more of a retreat, a true day of strategy, digging into upcoming quarterly plans, and accelerating how you and your leadership team will grow the business. Quarterly leadership team meetings are also a great time to bring in a trainer, go on an outing to experience something new together, or break out into smaller groups to tackle a constraint, create a business asset, or simply leverage the mastery that you've got in the room. Now, there's one more important meeting that I'm a huge fan of, the New Year kickoff meeting. But I'm going to give that meeting what it deserves, a whole episode on its own. And it will be aired the first Tuesday of the new year. So be sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it. So let's recap this short list of meetings that are absolutely essential for your team's success. Here they are. The first one was the daily huddle, right? You want to set your team up for success every day. Have them well prepared about what's expected to happen and even be ready for something that might happen. A great way to also rally your team and help motivate them when times are tough and when the pace is demanding. 20 minutes or less, try this one out standing up, and no, you do not need to attend. The second one is the weekly team meeting. Now, this meeting is longer, making it normal to talk about results and showcase your departments and your profit centers. Have those leaders facilitate their portion of the agenda, update your entire team, including your new hires, and have a way to visually showcase your discussion topics. And of course, at the end of this one, make sure you do that round robin 2-minute items. The third one that we talked about is the leadership team meeting. Now, taking care of those critical team members who are moving the business forward by showing up for them, laser focused on what's important to them. Offer some training, talk about new experiences, do some deeper planning and strategizing, and acknowledge how important they are. This meeting needs to be a safe place for these people to openly talk about what's on their mind. So as their leader, you've got to be ready for accepting feedback with humility and then owning the outcome. After all, you're paying these people to stop thinking like employees and start thinking like business owners. So you've got to listen, take action, and keep encouraging them to share. Now, if you think your meetings suck, I want to remind you to zip back in your podcast player to episode 322. That episode will give you a ton of ideas to make sure that people really wouldn't dream of missing any of your meetings. As I send you off today, I have a question for you. Will you be joining us for our next live, free, and virtual workshop? It's on December 5th. It's packed with insight to help you and your team from dropping the ball, missing key activities, and put an end to some significant risks in your business because you're being proactive instead of scrambling all the time. So join us for the 2025 Drumbeats for Success workshop. Grab your spot with the link in the show notes or on our social channels. And hey, did you find today's episode helpful? If you did, share it with a friend. Tag us on Instagram, where we're at Stacking Your Team, or leave us a 5-star review and rating on Apple Podcast. And hey, did you know that we have resources available for you on our website? Get on over there and check them out. Everything we do at Stacking Your Team is designed to help you strengthen your leadership skills and build a high-performing team. So I'll see you on the next episode.